Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Got a very special guest in the studio with us, Mr. Timothy Moore, aka the Clarity Doctor, founder of Vision Writers LLC. We're going to be talking about clarifying your vision. Found it fitting that we are winding down 2021. And I know a lot of us are going into 2022 with goals, dreams, aspirations, visions, resolutions, all of that stuff. But how do you get clear on that stuff so you can actually pull it off? That's what we're talking about today on the Cortez Hustle Show. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it.
Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Black Bear Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're not familiar with the Black Bear Success Mastermind, it is an organization or a community for three distinct people. Either you want to start a Black business, you already have a Black business and you want to grow that Black business, or you just love to support and network with Black businesses. You need to text Mastermind to 314-866-4053. Again, text keyword Mastermind to 314-866-4053. We literally give away hundreds of dollars of free training and resources in that community every single week. And it is growing like wildfire. I can't wait to start interviewing the entrepreneurs who are in that group so we can get a better understanding of what each of us bring to the table and how we can better network. So if you have not already done so, text keyword Mastermind to 314-866-4053. Today, we got a wonderful show lined up for you. They got a special guest in the studio, Mr. Timothy Moore, aka the Vision Doctor of Vision Writers LLC. We'll be talking about the principles and power of vision, getting clear about that vision and how to write the vision and make it plain. So do me a favor, man, comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. You got people on your timeline who are looking for this information, and do them a favor and share it with them. Before we bring Tim out, though, I've got a couple quick announcements for you guys. My friends and family over at Unheard TV are looking for talent. If you are in the St. Louis metro area and you got an idea for a TV show, you got an idea for a talk show, you got an idea for content that should be ready for the small screen or even the big screen, Unheard TV is a network that is premiering primarily on Roku and local TV here, but plans to go national real soon. So they're looking for talent. So comment keyword unheard if you are in the St. Louis metro area and you want the details on a pitch party that they're having here in the next couple of weeks. Also, the Black Beer Success app deal is about to evaporate on you guys. If you're not familiar with that, the Black Beer Success app is a sales and marketing platform that allows you to operate your entire business, right? It provides you the ability to capture leads with forms and capture pages and websites. It allows you to nurture those leads with forms and autoresponders and text message campaigns. And it also allows you to manage your brand reputation. And right now, if you go to the site right now, you get our big business plan for our small business plan price, or our solopreneur plan price. Our big business plan is everything that we offer for the price that we normally sell our solopreneur plan for. So you want to take advantage of that. You can get that information when you text Mastermind at 314-866-4053 as well. And finally, shout out to my girl, Bianca Shante. She got me in a volunteer situation. I was asking for volunteer opportunities, and I still am. So if you are in the St. Louis area and you need somebody to come through and help you do some heavy lifting and volunteerism this holiday season, I'm open to, if it fits into my calendar, to doing 3 to 5 more volunteer opportunities. Also, if you are a nonprofit or church, I want to volunteer my services to you in the area of digital marketing. So jump in my inbox or comment keyword volunteer, and I would love to figure out how I can help and serve in some capacity this holiday season. Tammy, I see you. She commented unheard because she's an amazing writer, entrepreneur, and I'm sure she's got some ideas for a show that she needs an outlet for. So super excited to hear from you, Tammy. We'll connect offline once the show is over. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking vision and how to clarify the vision, how to write the vision, right? How to make it plain so you can run and not walk. And there's nobody better to help break that down for us than my next guest. He's an amazing entrepreneur in his own right, very brilliant gentleman, and it does me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to some and to present to others my good buddy, Mr. Timothy Moore. Bro, good morning. How are you, sir?
What's going on, Mr. Hustle?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you so much for gracing us with some of your time this morning. Can't wait to get into this conversation, man. It's one that needs to be had more frequently, quite honestly. And I'm glad to be here with you so that we can bring some light to this thing. But before we get into who you are, what you do, how you do it, and how well you do it, I start every episode with a quote of the day. So it's where I give a quote that either punched me in the gut this morning as I'm doing my reading, my meditation, my listening, or whatever. Something always punches me in the gut. So I like to share that with my audience. And then you can either comment on that one, or if you got your own favorite quote that you like to share, we love to hear that as well. So today's quote is from my man, Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas. He's been going by E.T. and Eric Thomas so long that we forget that he's a doctor. So I'm going to put some respect on his name. Boom. Dr. Eric Thomas, right? At the end of your feelings is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. And what that means to me, Tim, is that we got to get to living our lives more based on principle and not emotion and feeling, because you get predictability when you live by universal laws and principles like the law of vision, like the law of writing down the vision, like the law of clarity. So that punched me in the gut this morning as I was listening to some stuff. And I was like, man, Cortez, get out your feelings, bro, and identify some principles and some laws that you're going to live by, that you're going to stand on, that are going to be the foundation of everything that you do. So that hit me, bro. You got your own favorite quote, or would you like to chime in on that?
No, that was good. I mean, just like you, that jumped out at me. That principle part is, I was thinking that the other day, is how when you live by principles, you can guarantee results. You can guarantee results. And like when you look about the principles of space flight, like you have to break the Van Allen belt. You have to, for a plane to take off, you have to go down this runway with so much speed before you can actually create lift. You got drag, like all of those, and there's very specific to where they're able now to repeat space flight and airplanes flying because of the principle.
Yeah.
And every single time you're gonna fly. And so if our lives were based off of principles and not feelings, we would get the same result every single time. And the struggle is, what's the principle that we need?
Right. Yeah. And you're right, man. There's so many that can govern our lives. And what's cool is you can use any combination of those principles and really get where you want to go. It's just figuring out the ones that you're going to obey and put into your daily method of operation. So appreciate that, brother. That is that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you, of course, by the Black Biz Success Mastermind. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing like, right? The good book says it this way: where 2 or 3 agree, there I am in the midst, right? What does that mean? That means whenever one mind gets with another mind, then there is a third, more powerful mind that they both can draw from. And that's what the mastermind community is all about. Oh, I'll put it this way, because Tim is a believer, and I know he knows scripture. If one could put 1,000 to flight, then 2 could put 10,000 to flight. Well, how does that work? You would think that basic math says if I can put 1,000 to flight, you could put 1,000 to flight, then together we can put 2,000 to flight. No, because there's another law, there's another principle called the mastermind principle at work, where you get to draw from a supernatural strength and it multiplies your efforts. That's why you need to text mastermind right now to 314-866-4053. Our mission is to help Black people become the #1 employers of Black people in the next 2 generations. And we don't do that without masterminding together. So, Tim, I ask everybody, every single person that comes on this show, the same question: who the heck are you?
No, that's good. Well, Timothy Moore, that's my name. I go by the AKA the Clarity Doctor, and that really happened when I gained clarity after years of blaming my father for his absence growing up. After my mom and dad got a divorce at 8. I mean, I went years blaming him. All mistakes, all failures, all problems, anything that didn't go right. It literally, I traced that back. Well, if you would have been in my life, I wouldn't have made these mistakes. Yeah. So there was a lot of blame. And then when he died about 3 years ago, I'm crying on his casket. And I can't figure out, well, why am I crying? I barely knew him. And then it hit me. I'm crying because I don't have anybody to blame anymore.
Oh,
he's gone.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do, bro? And I was like, wow. So at that moment, I released him and said, you know what? He did what he did. I learned what I learned, and I got what I got. But it's time for me now to clarify what it is that I'm going to be intentional about.
Yeah.
So I wrote my vision for what I wanted to do a few months later, after just doing some digging on the inside, and said, you know, what am I good at? What am I willing to give the rest of my life in pursuit and accomplishment of? And then that's when it came to me. All right, you've been writing and working on vision and mission statements. Launch that. So I wrote the vision, made it plain, and I've been reading it and I've been running ever since. And so that's when I launched, you know, Vision Writers USA, which is a global leader in the creation of vision statements that inspire and facilitate community growth and economic development. So at my core, I'm a visionary. I'm really launching and living in the unknown of creating things that don't exist, living in that unknown place and really getting clarity and going from a place of being blind
Mm-hmm.
to being able to see. But I'm gonna drop this real quick, and I know you gotta talk. What really hit me though is a lot of us struggle is because, like the scripture says, we think we see,
Mm-hmm.
but we're actually blind. And Jesus said, I came for those who are blind, for them to be able to see. And if you think you already see, I'm gonna make you blind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the struggle that we have, because we swear to God we already see.
Yeah.
But until you can admit that we're blind,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start seeing, your perception changes. And that really hit me right there.
I love it. I love it. Let's dive into a little bit, because in some of my coaching programs, I have this workbook that I send people through, and I call it the inner work, right? You have to do the inner work before you even figured out that you're going to launch Vision Writers. But what was that inner work like for you? How long did it take? What was the process? Do you have a specific method of helping people kind of strip away and basically get 100 with oneself, right? Because that's what it is. Right?
For me, I felt like the journey was, I was already on the cusp for years before I even decided to do Vision Writers. It's always been an inner work that had been going on, because I didn't like where I was at in my life.
Yeah.
So there's always been digging, but the clarity really came. One, it really shifted when I changed environments.
Okay. Love it.
I had to change environments, and I had to leave a church. I had to leave some people. And that helped me listen to my own heart.
Okay. Love it.
That you got to listen to your own heart. And a lot of us, it's too much noise. Just way too much noise. Relationships, it's, incorrect relationships, people you shouldn't be in covenant with or connection with. And I had to clear the noise. That was monumental for me.
I love it. And talk about the difficulty of that, because I found that we know that the power of association is real, right? We started out talking about laws. This is one of them, the law of association, right? But I find that the difficulty is in walking away or outgrowing some of the people who helped you through some of those dark moments, right?
Right.
Did you experience some of that as well?
Oh man, because there's that sense of, well, one, why aren't they still with me? I'm trying to develop, or we're trying to develop and change. You've been there, like you said, during some integral dark moments and helped me through. So as I'm evolving and growing, I want you to be there. You my boy, you my girl, you my dude.
Yeah. Right.
But the vibe and the connection is off now.
Yeah.
What they're saying, maybe what they're speaking, where they're going, doesn't line up any longer.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge.
And we got to be willing to admit that, like, I can't wake up every morning listening to ET. I can't wake up every morning writing out or speaking out my visions for what I want to see for 2020, and then go and spend the rest of my day hanging around people who are talking about what they did in the past, right? Hanging around a bunch of people who have literally a problem for every solution, right? It's like you got to be able to recognize that and absolve yourself of the guilt. There is nothing wrong with outgrowing people. What I've done in my life, Tim, is just simply said this: hey, I've got a place that I'm going. I've already seen it. I don't see every step to get me there, but all I need to see is step 1 and 2, and I'm just making those marches. But I've always left the door open for those who are ready to grow with me. In fact, I had a homeboy just came back into my life recently, and we just had a heart-to-heart conversation. Bro, this is where I'm going, and I'm not going to be derailed by anything. You can keep up if you can, but don't think that I'm coming backwards for one bit. And it's kind of working out in a new business relationship that we have now. So I'm excited about that.
Here's the challenge, though. What if they are growing? What if they are moving up and going higher, but it just there's no alignment? That's the hard part. Like they talk wonderful. They're doing great things. But y'all are now, there's certain ways where there's certain blind spots, or there's certain levels of awareness that one person may have that the other person don't have, but they still killing it.
Right.
They still killing it. And it's not like they're not amazing people. That's the hard ones for me.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. I've had some of that in my life as well. Like there's one gentleman who I was rocking with, and like at some point we would go through some things, and I'd be like, my man, right? And then at the very next breath, I'd be like, this dude, and there was too much of that, and I was like, wait a minute, that's too much inconsistency for my level of countenance, right? The way I move, very humble, very mild mannered, don't like to be in a bunch of drama and all that kind of stuff. And you gotta, that's where self-awareness comes in at. Like, this, as wonderful as it is, as cool as he was as a guy, you know, as family, I was like, man, we were, had some alignment in some areas, but some of the major areas, there were some serious misalignment.
Showstoppers.
Like, no, I can't. And I heard B. Simone say, she's a comedian and entertainer, that she got to a point in her life, for the first time in her life, where she didn't negotiate one of her non-negotiables.
Ooh.
And that was that kind of situation. It was like, this is a non-negotiable for me, so why am I negotiating? Ooh. And that comes with self-awareness.
Yes.
Right. So, Tim, man, this is fun, bro. But we're going to get into another segment. One of my favorite segments, the favorite segment of the show, is 1 minute motivation.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to play a short motivational clip, either 60 or 90 seconds or so. And then I'm just going to ask you to give your takeaway. And I want you to give a takeaway or two. Big Rube, I see you. He says principles, not emotions. I love it. So we're going to play the short motivational clip, and just let me know something that jumped out at you, and I'll jot down a couple things as well, and then we'll talk about it. So right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, let's get into 1 minute motivation.
We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person, but if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear.
That's the kind of stuff I wake up to, Tim. I be trying to get fired up. I got a mission to accomplish, right? I'm
Absolutely.
trying to make my creator proud.
So
this is why I love this so much, is because we all just listen to the very same clip. But based on where we are in our lives, we all heard something different. So what did you hear?
What I heard, and it really was in, there's a lot of synchronicity. And what I heard was we can develop an appetite for anything. And so a lot of times, and an example I was listening to it and just kind of reiterated that is there's some foods that we didn't like as a child, but we kept eating it. And then now we love it. And how we can develop an appetite if that's all that we have to eat. And so a lot of times we know it ain't good for you. We know things are unhealthy. We know all these different things. But I've developed an appetite for it over time. That's and learning how to no longer to curb that appetite or redirect that or start eating something else. That's a process.
That's right. Man, beautiful, beautiful. I think we forget that, especially those of us who are on this journey to grow, we tend to believe that personal growth and self-development only happens when I'm reading a Think and Grow Rich, or I'm listening to clips and stuff like this. But everything you consume contributes to your personal growth and self-development. The question is, are you growing in the right direction? You talked about having to move into a different social circumstance, right? Well, that's one of the things that contributes to who you are, but you also got to change what you consume. You got to change the places you go, not just the people that you're around. So that part is critical, and especially in one's youth, right? This is why as parents, we got to really be serious about who we allow our children to be around. I remember I had a good friend who we developed this friendship as he coached my son in football, and he cussed a lot, Tim. Like he cussed a lot. And as a Christian man, everybody had the same question for me, Cortez. How could you let your son play for a guy who cusses all the time?
Man, bro. And
I had one answer for them, Tim. I know the difference between a cuss word and a curse word. See, he cussed a lot, but when your son misses the pass, you cursing him, talking about how stupid he is and he'll never be able to play it. Come on now, there's a difference between cussing and cursing, right? So be careful with who you let in and over your spirit, ladies and gentlemen. That is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by VisionWritersUSA.com. Make sure y'all go to that site, man. If you need help developing a clear vision, you need help writing it out in a way that you can speak it to yourself, like Napoleon Hill says, 2 times in the morning, 2 times before you lay to rest at night, so that it becomes part of your subconscious, right? So that you can literally move the universe to bring you the resources that you need to accomplish that mission. It's VisionWritersUSA.com. Make sure y'all go connect with my man Tim. So we've been talking about, the inner works, the journey, and now we know what came out of this. But you had your background in technology, and thank you for your service, by the way. I didn't say that in your bio. Tim's also a veteran as well. Did your background in IT play a role in what you're doing now? Because I can see how understanding the inner workings of computers and how technology is changing the world might shape someone's approach when it comes to life in general.
I was the most, I tell you, like, I didn't know I was going to start a business when I started, IT back in 2000. But I tell you, that decision right there, phenomenal. Amazing. Like, it has been everything. The fact that I took that journey first to be in IT, it's completely shaped my understanding of principles, processes, flows, step by step. Like, it really helped me understand relationships, math, just how the world is math. Breaking down computer science, it's been everything. It's been everything.
I love it. So you went through this period where blame dad. Dad walked out of my life, walked out of our family's life, age 8. It's his fault that I'm making these decisions. It's his fault that I'm not where I want to be. Even as a grown $$$ man, it's still his fault that I ain't winning in life, right? But then he passes, and you like, well, can't blame him no more. So now you go on this soul searching journey, and you kind of dig deep inside, and you realize, no, it's me. It's me. Like, talk about getting to that point where Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot, that everything is your fault. Like, when you can come to the acceptance that it's my fault. He talks about, man, if I go outside and get hit by a bus, I shouldn't have went outside at that time of the day. Like, it's my fault. Talk about owning your ish, bro.
You know, blame, I think, is something that's at the core of us as people, because if you take it back to the word, what did Adam do? He said, the woman that you gave me.
Yeah.
Now, he couldn't take accountability from day one. And so just for me, I think it's part of our society and just part of our world to believe that we are right and everybody else is wrong. And so it can't be me.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't have done nothing wrong. It has to be you.
Yeah.
Because I'm always right. And so that's a mindset that I believe that we all have to shake off. You know, and I just say, you know, I was chief. You know, even still, I have to keep shaking off. Well, why didn't this work? No, that's and mindset, skill set, or strategy. And I learned that from a good mentor of mine, Kim Kasparian, that if you can't survive in business or in life, it's either because your mindset is off, like you don't believe something, you don't perceive something correctly, you just don't like it, it's mindset, or it's skill set, you don't know how to do it, which is easily achievable because you can go learn it, or it's strategy or system. And it's always going to fall to one of those three. And so that kind of goes back to, you know, you can't blame someone else for your lack of awareness.
Yeah. I think blame is so easy because it does shift the responsibility of fault, but it also places the responsibility on someone else to fix it, right? So it is, if I take responsibility, then like Will Smith has a great talk on fault versus responsibility. He said it doesn't matter whose fault it is if it's your responsibility to fix it. That's and right. You came to that point. It wasn't your fault that your dad walked out of you guys' life and your parents split, but it's your responsibility to do the inner work to deal with the emotions and the feeling that came from that departure. Right.
Yes, it's my perspective on what he did. And that's the thing a lot of times. We have a perspective on, like, every time somebody does something, I'm looking at it and I have a point of view and perspective at how I look at what they did. And and we heard it before. What things are not done to us. They're done for us. They're done for an experience. My dad walking out on me, he didn't do that to me. He did that for me, or that happened for me, for me to learn that I need to stand on my own 2 feet. I got to stand on, I got to be a man.
Yeah. I had a similar experience. My dad was killed when I was 11, and we didn't have any relationship. I lived with him 2 years in the 1st grade and the 3rd grade. And I blamed him for getting himself killed. Right. It's like, bro, I mean, and even though at the time that he got himself killed, he was strung out on drugs and was a serious womanizer, would probably not the type of guy that I would have needed to be raised by or be around. So to your point, like, you got to, like the saying goes, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right?
What you see is what you get.
So that's where I had to come to realize, and like you said, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. How am I going to be able to use this to move forward? So now that Vision Writers is launched, right? And now you got a clear mission for yourself, and you know what you want to bring to the table and helping people. What has the entrepreneurial journey been like for you? Serious IT profession, that's where you are, and then the creator in you as a writer, so you got that creative side, but that doesn't always work for in entrepreneurship. When the creator is coming to business, that's a different type of animal.
It is, but you know, and I feel like everything is, how much excitement do you wake up with? That's the energy. Like, if you really think about the science of it, molecules have to be excited, and there's a vibration and there's an energy that's created from the excitement. I'm so excited about my vision and about what I write down that I've been very easily able to flow and power through whatever resistance I come across or whatever friction, because the vision is so clear. I'm not moved. I'm just not moved.
I love it. And people, when you understand the power and decision, right? That's another one of those laws. We've been talking about law. When you understand the power of decision, right? The word decision is opposite of the word incision. A doctor makes an incision, they cut into you. When you make a decision, you're cutting some things away. When I decided to build an international multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, by default, I automatically cut away quitting, automatically cut away stopping. I don't have a choice to do this show every day. You don't have to choose. Once you made a decision, you no longer have to choose, right? And that's powerful. So you made a decision that for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be locked in on helping people get their mission together and write it and make it plain so that the vision is clear, so that it becomes so big. I love this in your mission statement, so that it becomes so big that the excuses are small. And I think we, especially as Black people, are so into this focus on the problem. Like, yes, police brutality is real. Yes, systematic poverty is real. But when you focus on the problems seem so big, and your solution seems small.
That's right.
But when you learn to focus on the solutions,
that's right.
How do you get your clients to focus on the solutions so that the excuses become small?
The key is having that vision that resonates so strongly on the inside that, again, it's what you see is what you get. So if you're looking at problems, then you're going to continue to get problems, because that's in your vision. That's what you see. That's what you are constantly looking at. So to get clients to stop looking at the problem, it's very important that the vision statement is created from a place of deep passion and emotional connection to that vision.
Yeah.
And then I have to, but it's not overnight, because some people by default, like, yeah, you're right. But like, they're constantly wanting to go back to, like, again. And I just read the other day, just talking about how people have so many excuses and can create valid points for everything as to why they can't do it or why they can't fail. They have a whole 15-page summary and report, the statistics, the sources on why something won't work. That's what failures do. But successful people have the same thing. They got a whole summary of why it can work, all the sources and all the sightings. And so it's up to the client or to the individual to decide, what is it that you're going to be successful at? You're going to be successful at not being successful, or you're going to be successful at being successful.
Yeah, I love that. On the other side of this break, I want you to help us to make a difference between the mission statement and the vision statement, right? Because those are two separate things, right? So that's what we're going to talk about on the other side of this break. Listening to and learning from Timothy Moore, founder of VisionWritersUSA.com. Go check him out. He's got some cool free resources for you if you go check out that website. So on the other side of this break, we're going to be talking about the difference between vision and mission. And then Tim is going to outline some practical steps that you can take to help you focus on that vision. Make sure you keep it locked right here.
Hey, yo, listen, man, I don't know about you, but as a solopreneur, the last thing I can do is afford to miss a phone call that might lead to money. So when I found out that building my website and sales funnels on the Black Bear Success app included a dedicated phone number with boomerang text back. That was the icing on the cake for me. That means anytime my phone rings, and if I'm on a webinar, if I'm doing a podcast, if I'm away from my phone and I miss the call, the system will automatically text that person back with a message from me asking, how can I help? So I no longer miss money, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I'm getting ready to do a photo shoot right now, so I'm gonna be tied up. But if somebody's calling me about business, guess what? I'm gonna get the message and I'm gonna send them back a message that they can connect with me on blackbearsuccess.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm Cortez Hustle. That's my special guest, Mr. Timothy Moore, founder of Vision Writers LLC. Check out the website, visionwritersusa.com. And of course, you can follow him on IG at Timothy the Visionaire on IG. We're talking all things vision, clarity, mission, focus, understanding who you are internally so that you can get clear on the mission and the vision. But there's a mission statement and there's a vision statement. Tim, what's the difference between the two?
You know, that question, and also vision and goals. Those are really huge questions I get all the time. Is they're constantly calling goals vision, calling mission vision, calling vision mission, because they're words that most of us don't have clear meaning to. So we just lump them all into this big pot. And when you define those things, you're not really organizing your efforts. I have a vision, I have a mission, and then I have my goals. And now I can, when I know the distinct differences, I can now organize my efforts. So great question. The first thing I want to say is, even just with all that, because I added goals to it, a vision you never accomplish. The vision is so big, it's big enough for you to grow, but narrow enough to focus, but you never accomplish it. People are like, well, why would I do something I'll never accomplish? Well, you're going to accomplish some things because that's why you have a goal. Those goals are the things that's going to excite you, but you need to have goals that are tied to a clear vision. That's going to connect. That's going to give you that cohesiveness. So vision you never accomplish, and it's constantly a guiding light, a North Star that wakes you up, that tells you when life gets bad, well, I don't know what I'm doing this for. Oh yeah, it's the vision. And it has to be so big that it compels you forward. It can't just be any old thing. It's got to be big. Otherwise, it's not going to motivate. It's got to be big. Big matters. So then the mission then is pulled out of the vision. Something about that vision is going to have a reoccurring theme that now becomes your mission statement. That you drive and press forward to daily. I'm on a mission. We wake up and like, I'm about this mission. And so the mission is something that is going to have objectives that you can now clearly define and set goals around and be able to see, am I fulfilling my mission daily? It's it's really your business operator every day. Our mission is, we have this huge vision statement, and then out of that, I take a one-liner that says our mission is to make sure every child has something to eat.
Gotcha.
That it's bigger than that, but daily we're working toward, let's feed these hungry kids. Every day.
Gotcha. And then you can pull a goal out and say, okay, if we want to make sure no kid goes without a meal eventually, ultimately, but on a daily basis, we want to make sure we feed 10 kids.
Bam. Every day we feed 10 kids. That's goal driven, it's measurable, and is what? Driving towards the mission. And then the vision could be to be the global leader and change agent in the development of children worldwide, to be sustainable contributors to the community.
There you go. I love
That's
it.
vision.
I love it. I love it. And it's so big, man, because I often like it takes the same amount of energy to dream big as it does to dream small. This is the same amount of energy, right? So we got Takora Nicole on. She said, that is good stuff. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Super excited. Coach Henry Doris is in the building. Good stuff. Big Rube says also, principles, not emotional. Yeah, that's got to guide you. What are the guiding principles of your life? I've been really hammering this home, and I want to get your thoughts on this as it relates to, we talked about decision, right? And doing something big. I believe that Christians in particular give the devil way too much credit, right?
Oh, bruh. See, we need to come back and talk about that show. A whole episode.
And here's where I'm going is that the moment you decide to do something great, you literally move the entire universe to start not necessarily bringing the resources to you to help you accomplish it, because they're already there, but your RAS filter is closed. Your reticular activation system is closed to the resources you need because you haven't decided anything. But the minute you decide something, now you start seeing, oh, wait a minute, there's a resource right there. Oh, listen, my wife, I've been married to you for 25 years and she can help me with this mission. Yeah, you never decided that you were going to do the mission, but now that you decided to do the mission, her resource has been open to you to see. But at the same time, you also call into your life obstacles and challenges the minute you decide to do something. And some people give the devil credit for that. No, you did that. You said you're going to be something great. You called into your life the resources to accomplish it, but also the challenges, because those challenges are preparing you for the life that you say you're going to have when you get to that mission. So am I on to something here, Tim, or am I way off base?
You already know you on point. You know, you standing on the X marks the spot. You killing it. Man, like Boo says, Takara, people blame the devil when resistance hits, and which is the key. And we've been talking about principles.
Yeah.
Resistance and friction are in the earth.
Yeah.
You cannot escape resistance. We wouldn't be able to walk on any surface if it would not be for friction. Yeah. We need the science of two different surfaces rubbing against each other, two different visions, two different point of views, two different mindsets. We need the friction and the heat and the energy created from those coming in contact with each other to build the muscle, the strength, the fortitude, the determination to carry the vision that I have. It ain't just, it's the devil. If I decide that I'm going to be a mountain climber, in those efforts and in that decision, I'm going to experience a different set of resistance and barriers and friction as if I were to try to become the president of the United States, or if I decided I wanted to be an ice skater. It depends on what environment that I step into, on what kind of resistance that I'm going to face. And it's literally environmental resistance. But we call, like you said, we call everything the devil, and he's attacking me, and let me not try to do anything great because I don't want to be under it. Well, you already under attack just because of by the mere simple fact you here on this earth.
Yeah. It's the law. We're talking about law, the law of polarity, right? There's no gravity without levity, right? And if we need to understand that there's a lift and there's a drag, right? Everything, there's equal and opposing forces.
That's right.
And it is the overcoming of those forces that strengthens and quickens us.
Ooh, quicken.
Takara said it. Like when we run into an obstacle, the first thing Christians love to say, oh, Lord must not meant for me to have that. Wait a minute.
Wow.
No, what the Lord wants for you to do is be strong enough so that when you get it, you can handle it. So you got to go through this challenge in order to strengthen you so you can stand on that next platform where the air is just a little bit thinner, right? So I'm on this level running circles, right? And I think I'm running circles going nowhere. I'm running circles to strengthen my lungs. So when I go to the next level, I can breathe up there, right? And we gotta stop this. The devil is stopping me, or
that's that blame.
Or no, right? The blame, right? So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Here's my acronym for blame too. Blame stands for being lazy and mean or mediocre every day.
Ooh.
Being lazy and mean or mediocre every day. That's blame.
Day, man. And it's you giving away your power. Because when I blame somebody for doing something, I'm automatically giving away my power to change it myself. Man, yes. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, Tim, we're at my second favorite part of the show, a show that I call freestyle. Because I know you got bars, bro. You a writer. You got to have bars. Come on, man. No, I'm not going to put on music. I'm not going to rhyme your words. But freestyle is a part of the show where, as I'm building this multinational, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate media company, with this as the foundation, I don't always ask the right questions, right? And sometimes the conversation doesn't always evolve to where we want it to go. So freestyle is your opportunity to either reiterate something that we talked about that you feel is critically important for people to understand, or if we haven't gotten to something as we're winding down the show that you feel is important, then you can hit them with that too. So this is freestyle featuring Timothy Moore, founder of Vision Writers LLC, right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Hit them with your best bars, bro.
Dope. Without a vision, people perish. They wander aimlessly through life, being tossed and turned. No.
Okay. I'm like, I'm about to break. I'm gonna follow your lead, bro. That's what we do.
Hey, no, that's good. So we're talking. A good point was, we're talking about what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And what we don't understand, and kind of we mentioned, is when we say that we see, we're actually depriving ourselves of understanding what we don't see. Say it again. When we say that we see, we're depriving ourselves of seeing what we don't see. That's why Jesus said, I came to make the blind to see, and I made those that see blind, because it's all about awareness. And if I already am declaring that I got it, I already got this, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave you to your own perception. I'm going to leave you to your own thoughts. If you swear that you got it. But if you say, I don't get it, that's when the doors open up. So I want to talk about what you see is what you get in these 2 points is to be conscious of blurred vision and blind spots.
Yeah.
When we say that, when we talk about, I see and I have my vision, be conscious that that you don't have blurry vision. You see something, but the object doesn't have the detail. The objects, you can't define what it is. There's no definition. There's no meaning to what you see. There's not what does this really mean? Does this make sense? That's blurred vision. That's, you don't really have the clarity. And so you hesitate because you see a form up there, but you're not sure what it is, but you know it's something. And I'm going to keep pushing towards it, but I'm going to move cautiously because it might not be what I think.
Yeah.
That's the first part. That's blurred vision. The next thing are blind spots. That's when I see everything. No, fam, you don't see what's behind you.
Yeah.
And no matter how you turn 360, there's still something you can't see. There's still a blind spot.
Yeah.
And so be careful when we talk about vision, because you gotta always be careful of blind spots and bring blurry vision. So blurry vision, the cure for that is to write it down and make it plain. That'll cure that. and make it clear. And then, obviously you want to come to me and make sure that you create your vision using the RAPID framework, which is reach, audience, pain, identity, and desired results. You want to build it that way so you make sure your vision resonates. And then the blind spots, that goes back to the people around you. You got to have great people around you who have vision and clarity themselves so they can tap you on your shoulder. Watch out, you got something back there. Yeah, they can see and get those peripheral spots. So those things I want to make it just drop out there.
Love it. Man, drop the mic, man. That is freestyle right here on the Cortez Hustle Show with Timothy Moore, founder of Vision Writers, LLC. Guys, you need a vision. The good book talks about 2 reasons people perish. They perish for lack of vision, and they perish for lack of knowledge. And when you don't even know that you need a vision, you are in trouble, my friend. Let Tim help you develop that vision, write it down, make it plain, get clear about it. Go to visionwritersusa.com. Brother, this has been an amazing conversation, as I knew it would be. Thank you so much for your time. Tell everybody how they can connect with you in the various ways so that we can help more people get to that mission that is the entire reason that they were created and put on this planet in this day and time.
Yes, sir. So definitely it's Timothy the Visionaire on Instagram. That's one of my pages, but then there's also one, the actually company vision or Instagram page is Vision Writers USA. So if you hit me on Vision Writers USA, you'll definitely have more interaction, a little bit more interaction, engagement there. Then there's my Facebook group where I share a lot of content and other content creators acquiring vision. Also, the amazing Takara Nicole is one of the contributors to that group, who is the identity architect. So she shares a lot in that as well, because there's vision, identity, and purpose, which is the other piece of that. So that's the VIP movement, vision, identity, and purpose. So definitely you can reach out and just contact with those 2 ways. And I would love to have you and just be able to connect with you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been listening to and learning from Timothy Moore, visionwritersusa.com. Follow him on IG social. If you follow him on IG, then you can DM him about getting into his group. He'll give you the protocols and the expectations and all that stuff on how to get in. And I thank you so much for your service as a veteran. Thank you so much for your service and your purpose right now, what you're doing, because that's even bigger. As hard as that is to say, that's even bigger than the mission that you were on when you were serving. So I appreciate you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.